the floor to Chairman of the International Historical Commission, Mr. Emanuelis Zingeris. Let me remind you that Emanuelis has been active ever since the re-establishment of Lithuania's independence in defense of the values we're talking about. He is signatory to the Act of Independence. He has been working in a variety of positions at the Parliament. He was chair of the Committee of Human Rights, Committee on Foreign Affairs, and thanks to him, a lot of things have been done in Lithuania and in Europe in terms of reconciliation of historical justice and reconciliation between the various groups. Emanuelis, I give you the floor. Thank you for the floor. Prime Minister, distinguished guests, Mr. Lindblad, Arvydas, representatives of the Jewish community, historians, my old comrades, Sužiedelis, Šarūnas Liekis, Mr. Stasys from the NGOs. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that your lives are related to the issues of human rights and the violations of human rights in the past. Mr. Kubilius, I still failed to buy my glasses, so I can't read the text I have with me. Let me share with you my experience, my informal experience. The chairman of the commission back in 2008 met Brigitte Tsipras, Minister of Education of Germany. At the time, she was one of the leaders of this process in the EU. We had a secret meeting there. Some of the people in the hall know about this progress. What happened is special. Why is it special? It's special because our real initiative was related not with a wish to reinforce the issues of massacre by hiding the national interests. No, this was a global approach to the reestablishment of historical justice in the reunited European continent after 10 members from Central Europe joined in. Out of these 10 countries, new member states, most members had been forced to be members of the Warsaw Pact. And some of them were simply occupied by the Soviet rule. This was a complicated operation. The Soviet occupation blocked the memory of the Holocaust as well. What we had to do was to become free and go another step forward by becoming members of the EU in 10 years' time, and to reconcile our people with the memory of the Holocaust, which was blocked during the Soviet times. And we also have to reconcile our memories with the Nazi regime and its memories. We do remember that the Soviets didn't allow Lithuanians to commemorate the memory of the Jews who had died during Holocaust in Lithuania. So our mission was to reinforce the memory of the Nazi regime victims and the victims of the Holocaust. I don't know who decided to put a sign of equality between those two issues. Our initiative was to raise these two issues. Andrius Kubilius and myself are officially claiming that we had no other plans than the raising and reinforcement of these two kinds of memories. This is why the President of the Republic of Lithuania several months ago renewed the presidential decree and renewed the commission on the proposal by Prime Minister. All other speculations on this issue are all just speculations. I will not mention the people who are raising those speculations. Mr. Lindu, my old friend, a long-time chair of the important institutions, took part in the signing of the Second Declaration of Prague, which defined the processes after the Prague Declaration of 2008. He took part in the process of revision of this declaration. He cooperated with people who are people with integrity, starting with Landsbergis. This document did not put a sign of equation between the Holocaust and the Nazi regime. Holocaust is unique in its spirit and in its actions, but this doesn't mean that the communities in the European Union who have the remembrance and memory of the Holocaust and the Stasi, as well as the Polish resistance, there should be bridges between those communities. There should be a joint format where those communities can talk to each other. Even though Holocaust is unique. This doesn't undermine the importance of the Holocaust in any way. Next year, the Warsaw and Vilnius ghetto will mark its 70th. We will mark the 70 years since the Warsaw and Vilnius ghettos were established. 27 programs have been endorsed during the former Holocaust anniversary year. An important part of the activities in this framework was a program which aimed at raising the importance and profile of the Jewish heritage in Lithuania. This aspect of the dialogue became the narrative of our republic. The episode where the interim government was engaged should be referred to. It was not accepted as an official interim government. The Republic of Lithuania will continue the dialogue and the search for the common points of dialogue. We will compensate for the isolation which we endured during the 50 years of Soviet occupation, where the academic research community of Lithuania could not find bridges with foreign researchers and look into the crimes of the Holocaust and Nazi regime. Prime Minister Medvedev has been quoted today. I hope that the Russian government will also take part in this work. I hope they will open up their archives and provide access to them. Access to archives is of key importance. Academic archives are of key importance for the work of investigation into the Stalin regimes. The Prague conference 10 years ago was organized. Lindblad and myself made speeches, and a representative from China who had run away from the communist camps in China told me and Mr. Lindblad that we should inscribe into our document that Soviet crimes were a greater evil than the Holocaust. Everyone who were in the hall said we shouldn't do this. In China, the government continues to persecute the people who think otherwise than the regime does. I do realize that. But even so, everyone on the panel, including myself and Mr. Lindblad, said no to the representatives of China. We still think that Holocaust is a unique phenomenon. This is why Holocaust is not the same as a Nazi regime and totalitarian regime. It's quite annoying that some people still think that we're trying to equate those issues in view of the political situation in Moscow. I will not talk about the historical research in Russia. My speech was not diplomatic today, but I would like to thank all the members of the Commission. The Commission has been renewed. It will continue its work after the new year in 2 different subcommissions. In view of the upcoming anniversary of the establishment of the ghetto, and in view of the terror of the Soviet and communist regimes in the past in various European countries, we will engage with the global academic community, and we will look into the assessment of Holocaust and Soviet and Nazi regimes. It's unfortunate that the previous commission made several faux pas. We support the well-known historian Arad. We're looking forward for the participation of the Israeli historians in the work of our commission. We fully trust their academic skill, and we're open for their suggestions. We are ready to continue building the bridges between various historians who look into various historical periods. I would like to thank Prime Minister Kubilius, who performed this mission of peace-making. and who tried to reduce the tensions. He was trying to establish a constructive dialogue between the academic communities involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Emanuelis. And let me thank you, the Prime Minister Andrius Kubilius, who regrettably has to leave us due to his tense agenda, which is quite understandable. And now we continue our conference.